All right, family. We live once again. Black Power is on. We got a popping presentation today. Is the United States deporting European immigrants, fleecing the U.S. economy? They're also fleecing. We want to know what type of deportation processes is going on with the European. Just before we get started, I want y'all to make sure y'all get over there to Patreon. We got some five work over there right now as we speak. We dropped a heavy one yesterday. Let me drop it in there for the family. Let me drop it in there for the family. You see what I'm saying? Keeping that fire going. That's right, keeping that fire going. Here we go, right here. Why the elite of America worship ancient Egypt through Freemasonry. They want us to quit venerating and paying homage to our African ancestors while they sneak around in the lodge and in the church and in the Bible, in the Quran, teaching about Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? And still in our legacy, we better wake up. Get over to Patreon, link at the top of the chat. Also, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Seti products, t-shirts, hoodies, DVDs, African and Kemetic jewelry. Get over there, click the link. Also, become a YouTube member. That's right, Sarasu Seti, General Seti YouTube page. Gain access to very fire presentation, exclusive material, videos. Yes, indeed. And make sure you like the video, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends, and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because you will get banned. And so this is the thing. We want to get on it. We want to have a very strong day today, bring up a lot of questions. You understand what I'm saying? Because you know what? I'm gonna tell you who's getting a lot of power in the United States right now. The Indians. They're getting a lot of power in capturing a lot of top, CEO positions in the United States. Matter of fact, I did videos on it. You see what I'm saying? You see, I'm talking about, they skipping over all type of black, work, economists and shit and this, that, and the third. And they putting Indians that just get over here and they got more control of top Fortune 500 companies than black people got positions, in. So what is going on with that? We looking at the motherfucker at the bottom. Motherfucker ain't gonna do nothing. Braid some motherfucking hair, do some things like that. But it ain't gonna be nothing like controlling no goddamn. They had a few but they got rid of them. That was over S's, but that was niggas. Well, black people don't owe S's no more. You see, how many? Watch this. We're gonna talk about this, and people ain't paying. They ain't kicking none of their ass out. They putting them in charge of shit. They looking for me. They put them in charge of shit. So you don't see them as a threat because they goddamn. So they talking about as of 2023, to 2025, about 16 CEOs of Indian origin led Fortune 500 companies, including giants like Microsoft, Alphabet, Google, IBM, Adobe, and others. Let's look at this now. Let's look at this. You got Satya Nadella, Microsoft. Okay, Sundar, and I'm gonna just, because some of these names, I'm not gonna even try to do myself like that. But they running Microsoft, Alphabet, Google, IBM, Adobe, Palo Alto Networks, Albertsons, FedEx, Vertex, Pharmaceuticals. You see, and let me see, and I seen some more. And so I don't know if they got, according to some industry reports, listen, there are about 115 Indian or Indian origin executives globally running large companies, many of which are U.S. based or multinational firms with U.S. headquarters. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so even though they see that's the slick shit, multinational firms with U.S. headquarters. Yeah, let's find out what's that about. You see, so you sitting up here going because you think of yourself on the lowly level. That's your competition. You see, but why you over there thinking about the flip flop nigga? They over here getting them big jobs. See, they ain't in no competition with the nigga at all. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, let's look. Let's look and see if I can look at this. Look at this. Listen to this. In Silicon Valley tech, roughly 1/3 of employees in tech roles are of Indian origin, a strong indicator of the talent pipeline feeding these leadership positions. Though not all of them becomes so 1/3 of we talking about technology now. We talking about technology. See, y'all look at the little flip flop. That's your competition. You focus on him. You're not focusing on these motherfuckers that got these top positions because you don't see yourself on their level. Because if you did, you wouldn't focus on a motherfucker who got on flip flops. You'd be focusing on these motherfuckers getting these top positions. You see what I'm saying? They ain't putting them out of here. No, they're getting the top position. I would like to know, how many positions we got. You see, we probably got some, but I want to know. I'm gonna ask her, And so you talking about that they got damn near 1/3 of all the jobs in Silicon Valley. 1/3. You see, what are they population in this motherfucker? They so Indian Americans make up 1.5 to 1.8% of the US population, but they 1/3 of employees in tech roles over there in Silicon Valley. See, that's where the world going in technology. You fighting with a motherfucker got on flip-flop. You worry about him. They over here stealing all the top jobs. You see, that's what your frequency. You got to think of yourself on the high plane. I ain't saying work for nobody. You see, but all this agenda, you see, the future is technology. The future is technology. How the fuck you ain't gonna be in the world of technology? Where's your hand in the world of technology? Controlling where this shit is going. They're gonna motherfucking have Terminators out here on you niggas in a minute. They already got them. But that's what they're gonna do. If you ain't got your hands on where the world is going, motherfucker, you go where the motherfucker leads you. If what this is what you're doing. Worry about the lowly motherfucker. So that's very interesting. Okay, how this compares with the broader population. Okay, for context, 16 out of 500 Fortune 500 companies have Indian origin CEOs, means roughly 3 to 4%, a number often quoted. Oh, so they talking about they got 3 to 4% of the top jobs, okay, out of 500. Why this matters? This trend reflects high levels of education and technical expertise among Indian immigrants and Indian Americans. Strong presence in STEM fields. You see, science, technology, and especially technology. A growing pipeline from senior tech roles to executive leadership. These trends don't mean they dominate all sectors, but they show significant influence at the highest corporate levels. You see, at the highest corporate levels. So why they, so the motherfuckers you worried about them, but what these motherfuckers over here getting the bigger piece of the cake. You see, they over here ain't nobody talking about them. I want to talk about them. What type of black? Let's see what black people, what blacks. Let's see how many blacks lead a Fortune 500 company. I hope it's more than that. Let's see. I hope we got some numbers up there, y'all. I don't know, but I'm about to find out. Listen to this. Here we go. As of the most recent data, 2024, there are very few black CEOs leading Fortune 500 companies. See, here we go. The numbers fluctuate slightly year by year, but here's the current situation. So let me see how many people they got. Okay, you got Rosalind Brewer, Company Walgreens Boots Alliance. You got Thasanda Brown Duckett, TIAA, Fortune 500 ranked financial services firm, CEO, and then you got Robert E. Smith, private companies or influential firms, not always Fortune 500 CEOs. So we ain't even got, so Black Americans make up 13 to 14% of the U.S. population under representation in top corporate leadership remains a significant issue. Many are in C-suite positions other than CEO. You see what I'm saying? They ain't in nothing. They say them motherfuckers in C-suite positions. So you over here, you been over here all these motherfucking years. And you see, but this is what I'm saying. You worry about the flip-flop, nigga, because your frequency is low frequency. And here it is, they over here, they only 1.5 to 1.8%. And they goddamn they damn near 4% of the top CEOs. You ain't no percent. You ain't even no percent. You ain't even got 1 fucking percent. You ain't even got 1 fucking percent, man. You some 0.00% even in that. You worrying about the wrong shit. So we got to see this shit for what it is now. We got to see it, and black people wanna fucking focus on, little shit, worry about some motherfucker picking some peaches. You supposed to be in the top position. You supposed to be a CEO, motherfucker. You ain't supposed to be worried about no motherfucker out there picking no goddamn strawberry. You supposed to be but that's your frequency. Yeah. But we understand they allow them and they're going to continue to allow them in. You see what I'm saying? And if you ain't in the top positions, where you at? Where you at? I mean, all these niggas, you mean to tell me that black people ain't created no Fortune 500 companies yet? All this money you got, you ain't goddamn made no Fortune 500 companies yet. All this paper, all your money going back to the Neanderthal. He can't wait. He just laughing. Yeah, y'all make it seem. He give y'all some money so you could give it back to him. That's what that man did. Give you some motherfucking money so you can give it back to him. That's all you did. You ain't taking the motherfucking money and did nothing with it. Nothing at all. This a goddamn shame. That's just a goddamn shame. So we right there. We talking about now. Let's look at we didn't already went in on the Indy, and I'm gonna go in there on that. You see, and I'm gonna talk about that. Matter of fact, let me write that down because we got to talk about why we don't have no CEO positions. That's upsetting to me. That's motherfucking upsetting to me. We ain't got no motherfucking Fortune 500 company, and we ain't talking about working for another motherfucker, but. Even if you're working for a motherfucker, you can set some standards to get some motherfuckers inside there. You see what I'm saying? You can get some of your own people inside. So we don't mind a motherfucker working for, if they're going to open up the doors for more of our people to get in. You see, so we don't have no motherfucking, we don't have no problem owning and doing the next best thing, being CEO and opening the door for a whole lot more black people. You see? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We want to talk about that. So you keep worrying about that. I'm gonna put them peoples on blast. I done told y'all, man. They coming up, they sneaking in here doing a whole lot of shit behind your motherfucking back because you ain't thinking on that plane. You see? You're not thinking on a higher plane. We got to think on a higher plane. We got to think about being the CEO. We got to be the owner. If you understand, if you can't be the goddamn, get some people in there. Get in there, get some money. You see what I'm saying? And do something with it. Flip off. Get some of them minds in there. Then if they try to kick you out, go start your own. Get some inside scoops and shit. And motherfucker kick you out, motherfucker go start your own. You feel what I'm saying? That's what we need to do. We're not doing that. We are not in the Fortune 500 company. We're not even making it or our own independent businesses that's moving on that plane. Why are we not on that plane? That's very catastrophic that we're not on that plane. I want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about no flip flop. I want to talk about why we not CEOs. They ain't got nothing to do with that. See, this is coming from higher up. So you throwing rocks down at these niggas, but the higher up is what's manipulating this right here, keeping us out of that certain sector. You know, and we keeping ourselves out of the sector because we're not starting corporations and businesses that we can turn into these Fortune 500 companies that can compete on a global scale where we can hire our own people. We have to create our own businesses to hire our own people and make our people step up. You see what I'm saying? And excel, you know what I'm saying? So we can be successful in opening our own business. So we see right there. Let me see something. I want to see something. I'm gonna see something. I want to see what these Asians is doing. I want to see. Let's see what they got going on up in here. Talking about representing. We ain't being represented nowhere. Okay. 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 Let me see. Okay. Okay. So there are no Japanese. No. There are currently no Japanese recognized Japanese American CEOs, Fortune 500 companies in the most recent reports. Okay. So the Japanese ain't nobody, okay, Chinese descent, East Asian. So while most Fortune 5 are US born and white, while most Fortune 500 CEOs are US born and white, there, goddamn, there are notable exceptions among East Asian and Chinese heritage leaders, especially in technology and large corporate roles. Okay, so Chinese descent or East Asian. You got what's that? Tan Hawk English CEO of Broadcom Inc., a major U.S. semiconductor company. Jensen Hong, CEO of what is it? Nvidia, one of the largest U.S. tech firms of Taiwanese descent. Lisa Su, CEO of what's it? AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, also Taiwanese born. So majority of them is pale skin. You see, but the Indian seemed to be the next one behind. He seemed to be the next one behind him. He seemed to be. Let me see now. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see about. Let me see. Let me see something. Let me see if there's any Hispanics that got in there. See if they didn't wrestle some Fortune 500 companies. Let me see. Motherfucker looking it up. They trying to figure it out. Current recent. According to a recent report, listen to that. How many? There are about 10 Hispanic CEOs leading Fortune 500 companies as of late 20. They got more than us. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. Got 10 Hispanic. They say 16 Indian. And niggas had one possible two. one with a possible two. You see what I'm saying? So even his Hispanic got more representation in the CE. They don't put us nowhere. We don't put ourselves nowhere. You know why? Because you too busy looking at the bottom. You too busy out there equating with the bottom of the bunch. That's really what it is, man. Our people fucked up, man. We got to see back. We got to see through this shit right here. This is really hurt. You know what I'm saying? This shit really hurt, man. You already know they're gonna look out for their people. That's just how they is. That's just how they is. So even they got more, representation in fucking in that higher realm. So they ain't putting none. Yeah, they putting them out, but they putting the low frequency motherfuckers out of here. Let's see if any of them CEOs or them high technical motherfuckers, they ain't putting no motherfuckers out to get no technology, no science and technology. They putting out the motherfuckers that's picking fruit and shit and all of that and climbing up under the wall and shit. That's what they doing. But we got some work to do, man. We got to quit looking at the bottom and look at the top. Quit looking at the bottom, look at the top, because they leave you being left behind in a serious way. In a serious way. I thank y'all, family, for this early evening. I'll be back maybe later on. We're done for this early evening. Go and drink on that knowledge, the fountain of knowledge that we laid down. Make sure you get over. It was only two black. It was only two black. And that was questionable. It was only two black. Only two. So there it is. There it is, Ray. That's right. We already had our own. So yeah, and so we got to get on our motherfucking job, man. If they can come over here with nothing and go to, we got to do something. We got to quit waiting on another motherfucker to handle something. We got to take our own shit, man. We got to take our own shit. I'll see y'all a little later, family. Get on over there at Patreon. Get to and check out why the elite of America worship ancient Egypt through Freemasonry is a powerful presentation. And I'll see y'all later. Black Power.